Everyday chat and chart live during the New York session. Here, real traders share the raw truth, their mindset, technical analysis, and execution. This is where real traders show their skill set. Welcome to Tradin TV. This is your stage to shine.
Alright guys, welcome to Tradin live session. This is New York, and today's session is going to be a bit different because I will be doing backtesting on this session as well. And we will be backtesting NASDAQ. And it's going to be a very good backtesting session. And the concepts that I'm going to use are going to be smart money concepts, simple order blocks, supply and demand zones, liquidity, fair value gaps, and executions on the lower time frame. So that we're going to do. But before we do the backtesting session, let's just look at the trend price section to see if there is any opportunity for this New York session. So I'm going to start off with gold. And gold, I see like it's in a bearish order flow. Price action sensation opening, like it's showing bearish strength instead of bullish. Although like there's wars going, gold should be going up, but it's a manipulative market and we have to trade what we see. So based on that, what I see now, starting from the 4-hour time frame, if I look at the 4-hour time frame, what I see that we have a very strong support around 5,000 psychological level. This is a psychological barrier, $5,000, and overall price action is just bullish. Since this drop that happened on 2nd of Feb, a massive 4,000 drop on the 4-hour time frame, we can see bullish order flow where price action is making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher low, higher high, and this is the last recent higher low. And after that, you can see price action try to push up. And currently we are in a range, right? And again, price action tested this 5,000 psychological zone this Asian session, but it again rejected and it's trying to go back up again. So talking about the high time frame perspective, if you ask me, what's your stance on the high time frames? I would say as long as gold is trading above $5,000, as long as the 4-hour candle is closing above the $5,000 mark, I'm bullish on gold. Right? Now, let's look at the 1-hour time frame. If I look at the 1-hour time frame, I would only be doing buys on gold today if price action closes above 5140. Because from a swing structural point of view on gold, on the 30-minute time frame, we can see the last recent range is this high, which is 5140, and we have this low, which is 5080. So in this tight range, we can plan our increase in a way that if price action closes above this zone, we can wait for a pullback, and if this pullback holds this breakout right here, we can plan a buy trade from here. That would be my buy case scenario on gold. And for the sell side, if the price action starts to break below 5080, then we can expect the price action going back down to the Asian lows where we have this wick at 5015. So both directions, there is an opportunity for 800 pips each. If you're buying above the breakout above this, you have a 600 to 700 pips of a room. And if you're looking to the downside, that is equivalent, like it's kind of like 600 pips of a drop. So as of now, I'm just going to stay patient and wait for an opportunity on gold. Now, let's just move. Before I move to NASDAQ, what do you guys think about gold today? Are you looking for buys or you're looking for gold sells? Let me know in the chat on YouTube, and make sure to leave a like to this stream. We will be having a backtesting session very shortly. Now, let's talk about NASDAQ. So NASDAQ, today I executed a buy trade on NASDAQ. This London session, it was a trade sent to my Discord community. I went into a buy from here with a stop loss below this swing point right here. And I was expecting if the price section breaks above this area, it will continue up because To the left hand side, we had a clean drop. We had a clean range for the price to move up. And this trade, honestly, it went in a little bit of drawdown, but then eventually price action just respected this 5 minute order block. We were watching this in my community, and after this, the trade went for a clean 1 to 3, 1 to 2. Right now, at the moment on Nasdaq, I'm looking buys. I'm in a buy currently on Nasdaq because I feel like this is a strong support right here. Because after this breakout right here, price section is kind of like holding this area. So if the price section holds this 24, 30, 30, it will go to test the highs again on the 5 minute time frame. So on Nasdaq, I'm in a buy position. Although this trade was not sent in my community, but I'm in buys on Nasdaq. Now let's look at the chat. Uh, ZG Trading says he's looking for sells on gold. Yep, below 5080, like sells looks good. Even right now, if I look at it from a perspective on the 5 minute time frame, I feel that price section is already took out the structured liquidity. You see right here on the 5 minute time frame, this candle taking the structured liquidity, and then it's dropping. So technically it should drop, because if it's taking structured liquidity, then it should target the opposing liquidity, and the opposing liquidity is right here, right? So even it can drop from here to the lows right here, but uh, it's start of the week, so I'm more conservative because we already had wins in my Discord community. So I'm just gonna be more conservative in this NYSE session. I'm gonna wait for manipulation and then distribution. Sorry for that. So now let's talk about the backtesting session. Let's do a backtesting session, 30-40 minutes of rehearsals, charts, and backtesting and just concepts, which will be helpful. Uh, Farming and Sports says, mine got short DGI recently, just a little gain. Okay, nice. Farming, trading, how do we know if we are chosen? Just for asking. What do you mean? By the way, I'm watching from Philippines. Nice, Philippines. Let's go. Let's go. So I'm just going to share my backtesting screen. So I will be backtesting on FX Replay. This is a software used for backtesting, and I hope like Trade-in, FundingPips brings some software like this for the traders, because FundingPips is providing trade-in brokerage, a very exceptional pro firm services with no payout denials. What would I like to see from Trade-in, FundingPips, and Khalid himself is a backtesting software for traders, because everything at one store, one shop would be great. So let's start this backtesting. I don't know if you guys can see the screen. Yes, you guys can see the screen. So this was my last backtesting data on NASDAQ, where I had a 60% win rate, but just targeting 1 to 1.5. I managed to be profitable. This software I use for backtesting, FX Replay. So we will be backtesting NASDAQ. So let's look at the charts of NASDAQ. How do I open a new backtesting? Let's go. Okay, so I'm going to click on new backtesting session. We're going to name this session as NASDAQ backtesting. And the criteria we will be using in this session, we will only be targeting 1 to 1.5 risk to reward ratio. Okay, only 1 to 1.5 risk to reward ratio. We will be targeting realistic scenarios over this backtesting. And I will be using a 100K challenge, 100K FundingPips challenge on this backtesting, and we're gonna select NASDAQ, NAS 100 on the chart. Let's go. Now I will be backtesting. Let's backtest November month, or maybe December, like we had holidays. So let's go for November. I have already backtested this Feb and Jan. So next I'm going to do is November. So we're going to start from 3rd of November, random date, and let's go. Gold is dropping nice. Gold is dropping, NASDAQ is pumping. My NASDAQ trade that I shared on this stream just now, it's going in our direction. I hope my community is here. They followed the NASDAQ bias because it's NASDAQ is pumping now. It's pumping. Yes, it is. It is. Let's just look at this trade real quick. Let's just look at this trade real quick. Because I feel like if it can break 24,400 level on NASDAQ, then the next target would be 24,500. You see, it's a precise entry. So, oh my goodness, yeah, it's pumping, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right. We will keep an eye on this trade, but as of now, let's just quickly move back again to the backtesting. There's a lot of my community here for the backtesting session. So now I'm just going to start off from the hourly time frame on NASDAQ, and we just simply going to mark liquidities and order blocks. Liquidities and order blocks. Now, what do I see on the chart? When I approach the chart, I just simply look at the swing points, if there is any liquidity and order block at the swing point. Now, what I see right here is that we have a bearish structure on NASDAQ, and we have this as our swing point, as you can see right here. And this is not just a swing point, this is also some sort of liquidity right here, okay? And above that, we have another swing point and other order block structure. So on this trade, what I'm expecting, if the price action goes up, taps here, and at the rejection, I can plan a sell for this gap fill. So we're just gonna play the candles. Just gonna play the candles right here, and you guys can see. Okay, so now we are tapping into the zone. Once it tapped into my zone, I'm just gonna look at the 3-minute or 5-minute time frame for confirmations that the price is supporting these levels. Man, Nasdaq is breaking 24,400 on the real market. It's just going up, which is good. So back to the charts now. As you can see on the 1 hour time frame, it's tapping into the support. It's tapping into this it's tapping into this supply zone. So on the 1 minute time frame, I can see the candles, they have start to range. If we breaks below this, I'm gonna go in a sell position. So I'm just kind of like waiting for confirmations. Okay, let it go up. All right. All right, so now you see it took out the early sellers right here, took out their stop losses, and now it's going down. So I'm just going to execute short right here with a stop loss above this zone, and we're going to target 1.5 risk reward ratio. I'm going to take 2% risk on this trade, and I'm just going to switch to the 1 hour time frame because this setup was based on the 1 hour zone, and this is a 1 to 1.5, and now we're just gonna see the candles right here, and this is so fast. And there you go, you see, after tapping into the zone, the reaction was very smooth. Okay, so it is a full TP as well. right here. This is our first backtested trade. Now this zone really played out, nothing fancy, just a swing point and just lower time frame confirmations to execute. Uh, Now on to the next trade. Now the next trade I'm going to do is I will be looking for another order block formation on the 1 hour time frame. Now what I see from a perspective, if this order blocks, if this supply zone played out, it's going to deliver the price section onto the next demand zone, the opposing demand zone. Now where do you see the opposing demand zone? You see the imposing demand zone right here. You see it right here. Okay. So price action, if it's respecting this, we can eventually target this, or we can eventually target this right here. So, but I will be looking for a pullback on the 1 minute time frame back to the upside right here into this area, into this discounted area to take a sell, and then we drop down to this zone. Meanwhile, we also going to look at NASDAQ live trade as well. So I'm just going to share my screen. Man, this is multitasking, backtesting and live trading at the same time. So NASDAQ pretty much played out in my favor for like a 1-to-1 as of now, I would say. No, 1-to-1, 0.80, 0.80. This is over 1-to-1 above this high. Right above this high is my 1-to-1. Now this is the point where I will move my stop loss to break even, and I'm gonna secure like 50% or something, because in 13 minutes we have NYSE open. Maybe right now I'm just gonna move my stop loss right below this structure. Okay, so I just trimmed my stop loss from here to here, right? Makes sense. Once we hit this, I'm going to move my stop loss to break even, and I'm going to secure some profits as well. So after this drop, just a moment, guys. I'm also in this buy on NASDAQ, so I'm just going to move my stop loss above. All right. Back to the chart, back to the back testing. Back to back testing. Let's go. So, as I said, I will be expecting a pullback, and then I will be taking a sell. So if I look at the 1 minute time frame, I I'm ex- I'm looking just price action tapping into any of the PT areas above. So this could be a good area on the 1 minute time frame. All right, it's kind of like taking this 1 minute structure liquidity. Maybe yes, it is. It is. So back on the 1 minute, 1 minute time frame, I'm just going to execute as another sell position on this with a stop loss above this zone, and then we're going to target down till this zone. Let's go in with 2% risk. There you go. There you go. So the thought process behind this trade is pretty much simple. We were leaving this 1 hour supply zone, and right here I expected a pullback. And what happened? Price action just pulled back up to this swing point, and it failed to break above. A dodgy closure, inverted hammer, confirmation candle, sells in the direction of the trend, and 1 to 1.5 realistic risk reward ratio. Right now, account is already up 6%. Account is already up 6%. Can you believe this? If you start your challenges, what you need All right, guys. I'm back on the charts. I had some connection issues, but anyway, we switched back to the back testing. So I don't know if you have seen this trade, but executed as sells on NASDAQ over this back testing. And the point I was mentioning is with just a 1 to 1.5 risk to reward ratio, you can beat the markets. You don't have to look for 1 to 2, you don't have to look for 1 to 3, because those, I believe, over the long run, they are not realistic expectations, because sometimes the market is in a range, it doesn't gives you 1 to 2, it doesn't gives you 1 to 3, it only gives you 1.5 maximum. So from my experience, from my trading, uh, back testing sessions, sessions, forward testing sessions, I have seen a 1 to 1.5 is a good and realistic risk to reward ratio. Now we're gonna do another trade. So my first trade on this backtest session was from this supply zone, and I said, like, if the price section targeted this supply zone, then it will be delivering the price to the opposing demand zone. And we have this demand zone as a opposing, and we have this opposing demand zone to this supply. These are supply and demand chains. What you're gonna see if you are a smart money concept trader, or if you are a simple support and resistance or supply and demand trader, everything is same, just different names. Price section delivers from your demand to your supply, and from your supply to your demand. This is the market chain. This is how every asset in this forex market moves. If it's taking one liquidity up at the highs, it's going to deliver to the opposing liquidity down at the lows, right? It's simple. All we have to do is just see these things happening, look for confirmations on the 1 minute time frame, and just execute the way I executed over the session in these two trades, right? Now, we just tapped into this 1 hour order block, right? Now, obviously, this is a demand zone, so we could expect a reaction from this to the upside. Now, if I see price action going up from here, then I will be looking for another sell opportunity back to the downside to this extreme order block, to this extreme demand zone. Because when price action tapped into this supply, this was your extreme supply zone in this overall structure. So technically, we should be targeting this extreme demand zone. Now, as a trader, let's just do one thing. Let's just do one thing. Forget about the 1 minute time frame confirmations. Trading is more about what you see and what you trade. Trade what you see, not what you think. Now, what I see as a trader, I see, man, if it's tapped into this extreme supply, it's going to go to extreme demand. So even if I put a static 1 to 1 risk to reward ratio on this trade, it has a higher probability to play out. It has a higher probability to play out. Now, this is a 1 to 1. Let's say I go in with a 2% risk on this and simply play the candles. Look, it did give a pullback, as I said, on the 1 minute time frame. It will give you pullbacks, but as long as your order flow over the lower time frame is bearish, the trade is going to go in the direction of the trend. Okay, so it's extreme pullback. Let's see. Now, what do you see right here over this 1 minute time frame? You see price action after tapping into this 1 hour order block that we had right here, where we executed the sells. It just extended up, it built up the structure, it built up all of this liquidity right here. You see all of this liquidity right here, and look, in one session, price action took out the liquidity of this structure right here, and it dropped. And now this is pretty much obvious that it's a liquidity, because when liquidity sweeps, it forms a candle with a wick, with a big wick. Now you see this candle on the 1 minute time frame. You see this candle right here. This is a wick. Price pushed up, FOMO buying happened, trapped all the buyers, and then boom, delivered in the direction of the overall trend. Never fails. Sometimes it gives a drawdown, but it never fails. Right? Now back to the 1 hour. What do you see on the 1 hour? Just a pullback above, liquidity and dropping in the direction of the overall trend. And there you go. Let's see. There you go. There you go. Simple. Simple. 8% up. Now with this theory, with this approach, if you can stick with 2 A+ setup trades over your challenges, you have an edge. You beat a lot of traders. You would beat a lot of traders. Now, if I would like to say that if you are starting your challenges with FundingPips, your first 2 trades needs to be A+. There needs to be high probability trades where you have an extreme demand zone with confirmation, with confluence, there's proper liquidity, proper order flow, proper volume on the charts. Those A+ setup, if you can do 2 in a row, which is not difficult. If you are patient and you can do 2 winning trades over the higher time frame, you beat a lot of traders in your prop trading. Because a lot of people, they fail challenges when they are trading props. So if you can just focus on the first 2 trades, those trades need to be quality ones, man, you beat a lot of prop firm traders already. Right? Now let's look at NASDAQ as well. I'm going to share my screen because when I started this stream, I said I am in buy on NASDAQ. And look at this. Look at this. Just take a look at this. There you go. There you go. Simple price action, simple order flow. Just place the trades and there you go. We have 37 people live, 39 people watching me live here. And when I just go to the start of this live session, and when I put this ticker, I discuss this. And take a look at this move on NASDAQ, right? Just gonna share with my community as well, because I said we are in this trade, and bingo. Do you see? I'm just gonna secure. Yep, I'm done with this trade. I'm gonna close here because we are tapping right here, 24,500 level. See what I said, like if we break above 24,400, it's gonna go up to 24,500, which is a psychological level. And now you see price action exactly tapped to this 24,500. This is the power of psychological levels. Now we are done with this trade, and honestly, I'm just gonna see messages from your people over the YouTube chat. Let me know how many of you executed the buys on NASDAQ. How was the backtesting sessions? If you have any question, you can write it in the trading chat over YouTube. Can I get one funded account giveaway? Please, I had lost 6 accounts. Yes, you can participate in giveaways. FundingPips is doing giveaways on a daily basis. I would say like frequently, very frequently over Twitter, over Instagram. A lot of affiliates, a lot of traders that are affiliated with FundingPips, they are hosting giveaways. So you can participate in those giveaways. Wish you best of luck. Kashif, do you focus on trading only NASDAQ? How both are gold? I'm sticking with more NASDAQ. I'm more into NASDAQ than gold now because NASDAQ has more smooth price action. And what I have seen in NASDAQ, once it leaves your entry, It's never coming back. Whereas gold, like it goes in your favor, then it starts to range, then it just goes to your stop loss. You know, it gives you chill. But NASDAQ is clean, man. Like if you are sitting in an order block, you get into a buy. Once it leaves your entry, NASDAQ is never coming back to your stop loss. It's gonna hit your full TP. This is the beauty of NASDAQ. And I've personally seen it over backtesting, over forward testing, and not just this. We have seen it over live trading session on Tradin TV. Live on the stream, if you will go back to this YouTube stream, you will see I put a sticker right here. It's gonna go by and boom, bam, boom. Points of Ponder 7507 says, what lot size should we use on a 5K challenge? Your lot size depends on the risk you are taking. So what I do, I use lot size calculator. If you will go on Google, just write lot size calculator. It will ask you your account balance, the amount of pips that you are losing in the trade, and it's just going to tell you what lot size you should be using. That's what I do. I simply go to the lot size calculator and I put my account balance, let's say 100K, and I say that I have a 60 pips of a stop loss, and I have to risk 1% on this trade, and my currency asset is gold. How much lot size should I be taking? The calculator is automatically going to let you tell. So if you're trading your profit from challenges, your risk should be, your lot size should be according to the risk, right? Not according to the pips value, according to the risk. Let's say if on 100 pips you're risking 1%, just tell the calculator and let you know, try it out. It'll help you. Now, let's talk about gold as well. Gold, as I see, we just kind of like again in this structure right here. Now, on a 1 minute time frame, I would say we tapped into this 1 minute demand zone, extreme area, and from here it just pushed back up to this liquidity level. So gold today, like it's trading in a range where you buy at support, you sell at resistance. Today is a ranged market on gold, a very ranged market on gold. Maybe we are waiting for something from Trump, maybe some missiles. I don't know, man. This market is really, gold market especially, is really manipulative nowadays, and that is the reason I switched to NASDAQ. Bro, we just had a 1 to 4 on NASDAQ. Just on the live session with trading. Yep, a 1 to 4. Now again, the order flow on NASDAQ is bullish, right? Like, I think that there is a big gap on NASDAQ. If you will check on your MT5s, there's a big gap on NASDAQ right here. And I feel as long as this gap is not filled, I'm looking for buys. Now, if it's dropping right here, this is NYSE open. This trade is already done, so full TP was hit. So look at this, man, like 24,500 precision right here. So now what I'm going to wait for is I'm going to wait for a pullback back into this area or maybe below this. And if price action holds again, I'm going to take another buy on NASDAQ, right? My stance today for NASDAQ is bullish as long as we are not filling this gap right here. Right, so I'm just going to wait for another set of development on NASDAQ to get into the buys. Gold, as I said, it's just a range, and what do you see? We tapped into this liquidity again, 5110 level, and it's dropping. Now it's going to drop back to 5085. It's going to drop back to your support as long as it's stuck in this range. And look at this, it's dropping again. It's good scalping. Look at this. Called out right here and already dropping. It can drop down to this support. And same things, guys, nothing fancy. What we have done over this backtesting session today, price action took out the liquidity right here. So what's it's going to do? It's going to take your opposing liquidity, which is right here. It can take this opposing liquidity. Look at this. Order blocks to right here. Let's see. Keep an eye. I'll keep an eye on this gold, but as of now, I want to see a buy setup developing on NASDAQ. So, guys, this is it for today live session. I know it's a quick one. Uh, we will be if you enjoyed this backtesting session, make sure to leave a like to the stream. Even if you're watching this video after this live session, make sure to give it a like. If you like that educational edge over backtesting and live trading, we will do it more often, right? And make sure to leave a comment as well. Share this video with your friends, those who are struggling with backtesting. And we'll see you guys again. Right now, I'm going to call it a session. And before I call it a session, on NASDAQ, look for a drop and look for another buy opportunity. So from a 1-hour perspective, I am looking at this order block on the 1-hour time frame. It's also sitting at the 50% discounted range of this whole leg. So on the 5-minute time frame, what do I see as a structure point of view? If price action breaks below this lows, it's going to take liquidity. It's going to tap into this. And if the price gives you a market structure shift on the 1-minute time frame, from here, market structure shift, you can look for a buy opportunity, right? This is also for my Discord community. If you guys here watching, look for this zone right here for a buy trade on NASDAQ. With that being said, I'm gonna just call it a session. And thank you so much, everyone. I see comments in the chat. Thank you, Kashif. Thank you, everyone, for joining this stream. And make sure to keep joining the stream because we have a lot of other traders as well sharing their insight every single day on this trading TV, on this trading session. And yeah, take care, enjoy, have a very profitable week with trading.
Reading that down.